Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Fire Ant. Now, the puzzle is actually from a new constructor called Mellow Robinson, which, if you see a trail of fire ants as Sleuth is seeing right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be anything but mellow. Appropriately, Sleuth has got his hands behind his back, nowhere near these fire ants where they could potentially bite him. Not exactly sure why there needs to be fire. I think just looking at how angry these ants are, it's probably sufficient for me to stay away. Anyway, today's puzzle, I believe, is a 1-star difficulty rated puzzle, but I thought we're going to play a simple puzzle this particular Saturday. It may mean that it'll be a slightly harder puzzle on Sunday. Let's find out together. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Fire Ant from Mellow Robinson. I think you could see that's the ant there. Fire, I guess, because it's in orange. And the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku, of course, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box. Killer, so digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the total in the top left corner, means these 3 cells do not repeat and sum up to 6, 24, 9, etc. Dutch whispers, of course, adjacent digits along an orange line have a difference of at least 4. Let me find one here. So if this cell is a 2, its neighbors are going to have to be from 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to be 4 or more away. And of course that would repeat. So if this cell, for example, is a 7, this would have to be from, relatively low digits, obviously not repeating the 2 to be 4 or more away. Last but not least, we've got X and V's. So digits separated by an X must sum up to 10, and digits separated by a V must sum up to 5. So this 2 here, next to this cell, well, this is going to have to be an 8 to make sure these 2 cells add up to 10. And I see a bunch of X's around the place, so obviously 10, 10. The only V is in here, where these 2 cells have to add up to 5. So that could be 1, 4 as an example. No mention of negative constraints, so I'm going to assume it doesn't apply. So 2 here, an 8 there, a 2 there. I'm going to keep going. A 3 here clearly adds up to 5, no V, adds up to 10, no X. All of that, I believe, is going to be allowed under today's rule set. As always, to play along, link it in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So, obviously there's a few cages that are entirely forced with 1, 2, 3 for the 6 cage, 7, 8, 9 for the 24 cage. But I think the other thing that's probably more important to emphasize is you can't have a 4-6 pair on these X's because they're all on Dutch whisper lines, and 4 and 6 are only 2 away. 3, 7 does work, but 4, 6 doesn't. So in essence, this negative space that we have here in quite a few of the boxes can only be made up of 4, 5, and 6. Because the rest of them, the 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, are essentially occupying the 3 X's that are on the Dutch whisper lines. Now, clearly, to add up to 5, you're not going to have 5 or 6 because that would be 0 and minus 1. So that's 4, that's 1, that's our break-in. This is 1, 2, 3. The rest of it, the bit that I'm really only able to see is where the lows and highs are going, but that doesn't feel particularly useful. Maybe in things like column 2, because now I've got 3 of the 1, 2, 3s, that's half useful. 3 of the 7, 8, 9s as well in row 8, so they're kind of pointing towards the 9 cage. I imagine, yeah, they're also pointing towards this 9 cage. Right, so let's have a think about this, especially with the 4 now. So I know this is not 1, 8, not 2, 7, not 4, 5, so it can only be 3, 6. And over here, where this cell is not 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9. We've got triples all pointing towards that same cell. So this is not 3, not 7, 8, or 9. So I mean, it's obviously 4, 5, 6. And it can't be 4, 5 because I'd end up with 4 of them in column 8. So it would be, again, another 6, another 3. And obviously the 3 is in here. This is another 6, another 3. Excellent. That gives me a 5 and a 6 in here. And then a 2 to finish the 1, 2, 3 triples. Let's see if we can repeat the same trick in these columns. I'm just going to focus on this grid, basically. I'm almost tempted to color it, just to show you where my focus is. So obviously with the 6s placed, these are not 6s, this is a 6. I've got 3 of the 1, 2, 3s, so the rest are all 7, 8, 9s. Not very useful, but okay. These 6s, again, are not 6s, that is a 6. Then again, I've got 7, 8, 9s. No 6s here either. That is a 6. And this time it's 1 and 2. The 2 goes here, the 1 goes down there. So I think the only reason I'm actually able to resolve the lower digits in here are the 3s. It forces, and of course the V in here. So it forces me to place the 3 from 1, 2, 3, and then subsequently the 1 and 2. Interesting. So not 2. So is 2 in here. So that is 2. That's 8. So that's how I use it. Okay. No need for the purple. I mean, I'll keep it. I mean, I'm going to see how much of this I can actually get. Then in here, it's not 2 or 3. So that's 1, 9. That's 3, 7. Not 9. Can I keep using that? Yeah, that 1 is not in here, which is actually not that useful. What are you trying to do, Sleuth? The construction feels, let's say, very deliberate. No 8s, therefore no 2. Yeah, that's because I removed the wrong digit. I was wondering, that looked a bit weird. It did, and then a 1, 3 pair. Hang on, what? I'm going to rewind that. I clearly misstepped somewhere there. So I removed this 2. Yes, that's my misstep. The 2 is definitely here. What I wanted to say is that this is definitely not 2, and therefore this is definitely not 8. Now, there is definitely an 8. That's what I meant to say. Right. No 1. No 1. There is a 1. So no 1 in here either. Where is 1 in box 4? 1, 9. Not a 9. There is a 9. 2, 3, 7, 8. Not very useful. I mean, I do have a 6, which I may as well place. Then, of course, I've got the 2 3s, the 1, 2, 3, the 7, 8. What I'm missing is a 9. Which certainly could be in any of these, as well as 4 and 5, which could be in any of these. So I'm going to move on. That wasn't a 2. This wasn't a 2. This is the 2, 8. So that's not 8. That is a 7. These are not 7s anymore. And with an 8, 9 pair, that forces the 9 up here. 4 and 5 down there. 2 and 7 in here. That's not 7 clearly. Or 9 for that matter. So that's 8. That's 15. That's a 4. That's a 5. These are not 8s. Kind of surprised I'm not able to resolve this for some reason, but I should just move on. So I've got 2, 8. So yeah, it's another 1, 3, 7, 9. Less useful. In here is 1, 8. Therefore in here is 4, 5. Can't be 5. What have you done, sleuth? That's what I've done. Thank you. And then 1, 3, 7, 9. That looks good. So again, no 2, 8. No 2. 2 is definitely in here. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the 2 with the 8. Can I eliminate anything? I mean, there's a few things I haven't used in terms of geometry that these two cells are the same, which almost certainly says it's this cell, but admittedly it could be the 2 or the 7. So I can't even eliminate anything in here. Yeah, here, 3 high digits are in here. I say 3 high digits, the 3, 7, 8, 9. So that can't be 7, that's a 2, that is a 7. Which means the 8, 9 is in here, but it can't be 1, 9, it's 2, 8. And therefore this is 9, this is 8. And now this isn't 8, so there is an 8 in here, that's not 8. Now that I have, that can't be 2, of course. That's 1, 3. That's another 1, 3 with 7 or 9. What's down here? Another 4, 5, and a 3. The 2 again is not there. I just, maybe the purple is a bit distracting, and what I should have done is almost highlight the 7, 8, 9s, just so that I can keep track of them, and the 1, 2, 3s, so I can count them a bit more easily. That might have been more useful. Have I done anything with the cages? I mean, there are no more cages left, so it's just Sudoku that I'm struggling with at the moment. Nothing new, to be fair, for this channel. So I need a similar trick like I had in here, counting low and high digits. So there has to be something similar going on in the columns, isn't there? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's all the 7, 8, 9s. So that's 4, that's 8. That places the 4 on this side. And then the low digits, we've got 1 and 2. Well, I mean, the 1 and 3, let me think about this. Why did I say 3? Yeah, that's not a good reason. I mean, the 1 is definitely in here, isn't it? No, the 2 is definitely in there. That's what we said earlier. But there's another one, which is either the 1 or 3. Either in here or there. Let's do a bit of Sudoku. So we've got 1, 3, 7, 9. So essentially we've got a quadruple in here. Then we have 4, 5, 6 in there, don't we? That is not a 6, that is not a 4, but I mean that's the 6, so I may as well take it. Then I have another 4, 5, and a 3. Then I have obviously the third high digit. One of the low digits. It's not necessarily helping me figure out if this is 3 or if this is 1. That seems to be how I'm spinning round. One thing obviously that I haven't done is used the Dutch whisper lines. Beyond just eliminating the 4 and 6, they obviously oscillate between low and high digits, since there are no 5s on there. High, low, high. That was embarrassing. High, low, high. Therefore, this is 9, 1, not 1, is 1. Where else have I not used it? Yep, that's 2, 8. This is a low digit, so it's 1, 2, 3, but it's not 2. That's the 1, 3. Therefore, this is the 7, 9. Is that enough? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That is not low. That's low. You know, it actually hasn't revealed that much, has it? Surprisingly. Okay, maybe it has. Maybe it has. I was kind of stuck for a bit and suddenly not stuck. So that was probably more useful than I'm trying to admit. 9, 8, 7, 8, 2, 3, of course. Therefore 1, 9, 3, 7. That's the 7. That's the 3. That's the 9. That's not the 3. That is the 3. That's 4, 5. That's 4, 5 again, except it's not 4. Therefore it is 5. And that's 1. That's 5. That's 7. Much better. 2, 3. 4 5s. This one is resolved. This is 3, 7. That's 3. That's 7. This one is resolved too. 4 and 5. These aren't yet. And a 4 in here. But it's just a matter of a few simple Sudokus. So I need 2 and 5. 2, 5, 4, 5. 4 and 5. 1, 4. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6, which is in here. 8 and 9. 8. If I've not made any more mistakes, 9 for the finish. I did make it seem harder than it was. It's like as if I was trying to solve this puzzle with my hands tied behind my back by not thinking about the fact that the Dutch whispers oscillate. So for some reason the 4-6 very quickly, but then forgot about the rest of it. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. A quick one for a Saturday morning, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.